All right. So here is the missing page to your review packet. If you notice, it goes from like question 5 to question 12. Because I don't know what happened, but it didn't come.
You put me over
Everybody's paying attention. We are going to do the review problem. Just get up and move. I don't know.
This is a dog. So is Belle, but yeah. I know it wasn't nice. Bell's cold.
I don't know. I'll have to figure it out.
That's not the middle.
Now you're gassing up a little bit, right?
This is the middle.
The middle
Right hand
on the right.
side.
The right hand side. I don't think sure
The top right corner.
Did everybody get one of these? All right, this is what we're going to do right now. We are going to work through these problems right here. This is exam review 1. This is exam review 1, starting with question 6. I have already taped the first 5, and I think like 11 and 12, I don't know how many extras. We are going to do these right now, together. All right? So here we go. This is just the missing problems. It's supposed to be part of the packet. I don't know what happened. Here we go. We're going to solve this problem. It just says solve. I would not divide by 3 first. I would add 4 first. So if I do that, I am going to add it to it.
Christian, be quiet.
All right, I'm going to say this one more time. I just handed out the papers that we're doing. This is exam review 1. There was a missing page. I haven't done that page yet because I just am handing it out. This is the page we're doing.
Ms. Ford, do you want to restart your video?
No. Now, they can hear me yelling. There's nothing on that video that can't be made public. You guys need to be yelled at sometimes. So -2 plus 4 and 11 plus 4. So notice the problem has, here are the inequalities. There are 3 parts to the problem, a first, a middle, and an end. I added 4 all the way across. Now I'm going to divide by 3, and that is going to give me my answer. Some of the exam is multiple choice. So if this is multiple choice, that might not be the answer. The answer might look like this. Remember, doesn't that mean the same thing?
Yeah.
Open interval, not equal to, closed interval, equal to. So I'm not sure how the answer is going to be written. Both of these are correct. It's just the form, interval notation or set notation. All right, number 7. The exam has hard problems on it and easy problems on it. This is an easy problem. This is a quadratic equation. What do we have to do? We either factor it, complete the square, or use the quadratic formula. And given the numbers in this problem, I think it's a quadratic formula. Best choice. So, what's the quadratic formula? X equals -b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You need to know the quadratic formula. Remember what I said earlier, if it's on the review, it's on the exam. So there's going to be an exam question that says solve.
She was here.
7 plus or minus the square root of 49 minus 16. So my final answer, x equals 7 plus or minus the square root of 33. That one does not reduce, but remember occasionally they do. So you might have gotten, if this had come out to be 32, you would need to reduce the radical. But this one you don't need to do that for. Okay, number 8. What is the domain of this? Domain is what can x be? So what do you think? Tell me about x in this problem.
-2.
What about -2?
I thought it can't be.
It can't be -2. So when we did these before, we just wrote something like x can't be -2, right? On the exam, it might say x can't be -2, but it might also say this. Now, tell me about this. What is this saying? It's saying go from -infinity to -2. Are we including -2? No. And then go from -2 to positive infinity. So if you graph this, you'd have an open dot at -2 and you'd shade this way and you'd shade that way. Is that the same as x is everything except -2? Yeah. So I need you to understand is it's some of it is multiple choice. So the answer that's written may not be exactly what you say, but it might be equivalent to that. So you're going to have to spend a little time looking it over.
You know our last section, how it was no calculator?
Yes.
How is that going to be split up? Or is it going to
Yes, it's going to be split up. White pages, and they decided they wanted green pages. And so you'll have a calculator on the white stuff and no calculator on the green stuff. I haven't done anything that needs a calculator yet here, but let's see. All right, number 9.
I totally was about to laser it out.
Number 9 says f of x is this, and I need to find f of x plus 1. Now we're not going to make this hard. I know for a fact that if I had said, let's find f of 5, that everybody in the room would have come up here and said, okay, 3 times 5 squared minus 2 times 5 plus 1, right? That's how we do functions. We take out the x and plug in whatever number we have. Well, what if this isn't a 5? What if it's an x plus 1? You do the same thing. So no 5s, they're x plus 1s instead. So every time you see an x, plug x plus 1 in its place. So you're going to put x plus 1 here and x plus 1 here. Right? Now, let's FOIL, because I guarantee this is not going to be written there as an answer. You got to simplify it. So 3x plus 1, x plus 1, minus 2x minus 2 plus 1. I'll go ahead and distribute here carefully. Now I'm going to FOIL this first. So that's going to give me x squared plus x plus x plus 1. Now, I can combine some like terms there. Now I'll distribute. And now I'll add my final answer, which is 3x squared plus 4x plus 2, if I added right. What you got?
What percentage did you say the final was again?
20% of your semester grade. 20% of your semester grade.
Really?
Yep.
I feel like I had a kid.
It can make you or break you.
Alright.
I feel like all my grades is gonna go like this.
Yeah, this is the answer. This is the answer right here. Okay, one more on this page. Another function problem.
2019.
All right, let's see what we've got. Okay, this was way back in chapter 1. What do I do with this? Plug in this, right? X plus 2. This says plug g of x, which is this right here, plug that into f. So every time there's an x, we're going to put this in its place. It's very much like that problem. It just looks different. So we're going to take x plus 2 squared minus 3x plus 2 plus 1. So this is actually read f of g of x. That means we put the g function into f. So the g function goes in for the x's in the f function. We're putting this into here. So FOILing, x squared plus 4x plus 4. Distributing the negative, be careful. And collecting it like terms. X squared plus x minus 1, I think. Is that what you got? Alright. Alright, so now I'm sorry it's a little disorganized because that missing page. Now go back to the packet. We are on exam review, so the first page, just skip the first page. That's the mini review I did during class. Go to the second page, actually go to the third page, because we're going to start number 16. We're going to do problem number 16. All of this is on various videos, and it's all very clearly labeled. You also have all the worked out solutions. We'll do as many as we have time to do. If you want to see one in its entirety, you got to either come on Sunday or watch that review 2 video. All right, number 16. Now we're ready for number 16. Okay, one more time. We are in our exam review packet. We're going to the third page of the packet where number 16 says, find the inverse. Find the inverse. All right, who remembers how to do this? Find the inverse. Yep, so first of all, I'm going to put a y in. Remember, f of x is the same as y. Now I will switch my variables. I have no idea why I hear so much talk. I shouldn't. We should all be focused. Those of you with C's can end up with B's if you do well. Those of you with C's can end up with D's if you do poorly. So let's all try to do well. So first thing, we change the f of x into y, and then switch the variables. Now what do? Get y by itself. So we're going to add 5 and divide by -2. Now, it might be written that way, but remember, the formal inverse notation is this. So it may be written this way. It may be written with a y, but it might also be written with the F inverse.
This board. Yeah, iPad. It's not recording.
Did it run out of? Oh, it's still recording. It just, once that dumb message comes up, I don't know. Thank you. Okay. All right, so that's 16. We're done. Got it. Now, 17 should be so fresh in your memory.
E to the x equals 8.
Exactly. E to the x equals 8. Done. It doesn't say solve it. It just says write it without the logarithm. So you loop-de-loo it. The base is e, so e to the x equals 8. That's it. Done. Perfect. Beautiful. Write as a single logarithm. Now, as a single logarithm, we mean 1 ln. So ln something. In the parentheses is going to go a 3, an x, and a y, right? Now, what are you going to be doing to the 3, the x, and the y in the parentheses?
Multiply 3x squared together.
3x squared and divide by y. Now, why is it x squared? Because that little 2 snuck in there. So that becomes an exponent, and that's your answer. Okay, these 2 problems take about 5 seconds each. You can do these. These are easy. I think 19's easy. Loop-de-loo. Exactly. When there's only one logarithm in the problem, you just jump straight to loop-de-loo. So this would say 4 squared equals 3x plus 1. So 16 equals 3x plus 1. 15 equals 3x and x equals 5. Beautiful.
Are you having open gym this weekend?
Yes.
You have open gym on Saturday and Sunday?
No.
Okay.
All right, number 20. Last one. Number 20. You are going to sketch this. Okay? So who knows what the first thing we might do is? Take out an x. In other words, Christian, we're going to factor it. So he looked at it and said, hey, look, there's an x that I can take out. So once he did that, now look.
Where's minus 9?
It's the difference of squares.
Oh, shoot.
So we have x plus 3, x minus 3. That difference of squares pops up a lot. So now I'm going to graph it. So I start how?
Plot 0.
Plotting the zeros. So I got one at -3 and +3, and where else do I have one?
0.
At 0.
Miss Ford, do you have 2 of the, do you do the opposite? Like,
Yes. Always the opposite when you take a number out of a parentheses. Always the opposite. Now,
Oh, it goes upwards.
I have to connect these dots. And that's exactly right, Mikey. It's she's back there waving her arms around. It is a cube. Odd powers start down and end up. Is anything here squared?
No.
So I just pass right through all those points. So here we go. There it is. Okay? All right. So that's it for today. We will pitch up Remember also next time you need to bring the thing. Because I will give you class time to do the survey.